So this little chap is another of my Leicester Vintage Toy Shop pickups, and he is a Generation 1 Transformer called Cosmos, but you can't guess why. Yeah, he's a flying saucer, hence Cosmos. Now, in my memory, he's almost not Generation 1. The reason being that in the Transformers comics in the UK that I read, there was a contingent of, and I want to call them mini-bots, because they were sort of the ones that fit in your pocket, basically. There was a contingent of them who were the first ones in the comics. That was sort of Brawn, Windcharger, those kind of guys. There was then a second contingent who arrived from Cybertron. So as a result, they didn't actually have Earth forms, or at least Cosmos didn't end up with an Earth form. Some of them did actually. Beachcomber did. Sea Spray arguably did, although hovercraft aren't that common. But anyway, Cosmos never actually got a more conventional form. He was always a spaceship. But it did mean that he gave the Autobots a space capability that they hadn't really had up until that point, and perhaps not until Omega Supreme came along later in the comics and in the cartoons. So I associate him with Blaster in particular from the comics. And I know that he's a favourite of Gav's from the shop. I think he was quite chuffed that somebody had picked him up, bless him. So I believe that his insignia still works. I had a little go of it the other day, and you can just about make out that if you warm that up, you do indeed get the Autobot symbol on the front there. Let me just try that again for the camera. It's struggling a bit with the amount of zoom I'm applying here, but I think you can just make out that the Autobot insignia is there, and that was one of the selling points of the range. That, you know, every Transformer had one of these sort of heat patches that you could put your thumb on, and it would turn out to be either an Autobot or a Decepticon. So, show you the transformation. His head is there. That is his head. His arms raise up a little bit. So his outer elements here raise up a little bit, and then these are his arms. And they were basically blasters. He basically had blasters on the end of his fingers, and then his legs pop out like so, and then come down and lock in like that. Quite why a flying saucer has wheels everywhere, I don't know, but obviously it was so that he can move around with his other Transformer friends, and there he is. So he was a funny looking thing, but as I've always been into my spaceships, of course, I had a certain affinity for Cosmos as a concept, and he was also, of course, a robot, which was a distinct bonus as well. So 2 for the price of 1, as is the way with Transformers, mainly. Sometimes 3 for the price of 1, and so on. But he has appeared in later versions of Transformers as well, quite frequently, I believe, in somewhat more articulated forms than this form, but this one's in pretty good shape for its age. His head's a little bit worn. You can see there's a little bit of sort of yellow starting to show through on top of his head there, but of course his head's probably been up and down so many times, it's no wonder he's worn off a bit. But the insignia is in really good shape, and so are the stickers. So I think he's quite nicely intact. Because there's no gun accessory, because he doesn't need it, because his hands are guns. So that's just the way of it with him. So yeah, nice little Autobot mini-bot, as I call it. I'm not entirely sure if that is the proper name for him these days, but anyway. So yeah, so that's Cosmos. So you can go and join my Brawn, and perhaps I'm inadvertently starting a mini-bot collection. It's entirely possible, but I shall move on to the next. Cheers for now.